All right. Still on the issue of Nnamdi court hearing today. A lot has actually happened today, and one of the information that is coming up to us, from the court itself, is the fact that the case has been adjourned, just like I said in the last video. And as I'm talking to you, the days that were selected for the days are 6th, 7th, and 8th. And according to the presiding judge, he has clarified that the case will come to an end next week, being the 8th of May. That the case have actually taken too long. Now, on how the case, went, Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer, Agabi, started cross-examinations with federal government's witness today. Now, we're going to give you a full script of how the cross-examination went today. Before we go into other video evidences we had, there was an interview after the court hearing, which will be presenting to you from Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer. He was actually brief. They are trying not to give out important information till this case come to an end. No time. No time to waste time. For a case that has lasted for over 10 years, and counting, they shouldn't waste time on the case. Now, the full script of how the cross-examination went. Now, Agabi started the cross-examination by asking the DSS witness, did you take my client's statement with or without his lawyer? Now, the witness went further to respond. His statement was taken without his lawyer. So he clarified that they took statement of Nnamdi Kanu's, court hearing without his lawyer. First offense, but it's not for me to decide on that. Let us continue. Now, Agabi went further, and questioned the witness. From the video evidence, were you the person interrogating him? Now, the witness said, I was among. He clarified that he was among. But when Agabi asked if he appeared in the video, he said no, that he didn't appear in the video, but he was among the people, that interrogated Nnamdi Kanu from the video evidence, the evidence they showed. Now, in the last court hearing that was last week, they presented the video evidence of Nnamdi Kanu's interrogation. How he was interrogated and all that. And from that video, Agabi asked the question if he was among, and he said he was among, but he wasn't present in the video. Now we continue with the cross-examination. Agabi went further to ask, what was your assessment specifically, that is concerning the video? The witness responded, to arrest Nnamdi Kanu and bring him to Abuja and interview. Now, Agabi said, apart from the defendant, did you obtain statement from others? The witnesses personally said no. He said no, he wasn't, he didn't obtain statement, from others. Now we continue. Agabi went further to ask, at the time of the arrest, you withdrew from him all the items presented in court. The witness said yes. Were those all his personal properties? Agabi asked, and he said yes. Now, in the first court hearing, I went as far as reading some of the things that were discovered with Nnamdi Kanu when he was arrested, and those things were his personal properties. And thank God that the witness have actually clarified that, and that was why the witness went further to clarify, and this is actually the issue that is trending currently now, that no incriminating item was found with him when they caught him. Now, Agabi went further. The senior advocate Agabi went further in his interrogation to ask, Are there other items that haven't been presented, item considered offensive? Listen again. He said, are there other items that haven't been presented, that is items considered offensive from what has been presented in court? Now the witness said, my lord, the items might not be offensive, but the action behind it. Now please, what is the action behind the item of somebody's perfume that you discovered, somebody's belt that you discovered, somebody's camcorder that you saw, somebody's laptop? And in those laptop, there was nothing. There was no offensive content in those in that particular laptop. But that is by the way. I'm just stating the fact here. Now, the witness said, my lord, the items might not be offensive, but the action behind it. Agabi went further to tell him, no, answer me correctly. Did you analyze the item? If you notice, the DSS witness is actually trying to run away from the question. Now, he said, my task wasn't to analyze the item. So you didn't analyze it? Agabi asked. Witness said, I didn't, except his phone. Now, Agabi went further in this cross-examination. He said, is the phone analysis in evidence? Now, the witness started stuttering. Confusion, Abiago. You understand? He said no, because it was considered immaterial. He said it was considered immaterial. Now, Agabi went further to clarify. Do you agree most of the items have lost their use because it has been over 10 years now? The witness said yes. Now, Agabi went further in his questioning. He said, in 10 years since you first arrested him, have you seen anyone who claims he committed a crime? The witness said he hasn't. I didn't, he clarified. Agabi went further to ask, you said you found him with someone. Did you find anything incriminating on the person? The witness said no. Now, so both Nnamdi Kanu, both the person they found him with, were not carrying any illegal or incriminating object with them. Now, the question is, why is still Nnamdi Kanu still under DSS custody? But let us still continue. Now, Agabi went further to ask, did you confirm the person as a facilitator of terrorism? The witness said no. Agabi asked, did you find any instrument of violence on my defendant? The witness said none. We still continue. Did you contact any of the person the defendant named in his statement as working with him? The witness also said he didn't name anybody. Agabi now went further to say, is it only one statement that was obtained from him? That is Nnamdi Kanu. Now, the DSS witness said, in Lagos, yes, but in Abuja, other statements were obtained. Agabi now went further to say, apart from the defendant, is there any other person standing in trial with him? So apart from the defendant, is there any other person standing with him in trial, as the trial has been ongoing, all this while? The witness claimed the I don't know key by saying he doesn't know. Agabi now said, I put it to you that in the entire nation, this defendant is the only person standing trial for the agitation of Biafra, and that is Nnamdi Kanu. He has been the only person standing trial all this while, and that is why Agabi went further to put it to him instantly, because he played the I don't care, I don't know key. So Agabi had to correct him by putting it to him that he is the only person, standing trial for the agitation of Biafra. That is Nnamdi Kanu. Now, the witness, in his response, said, I don't have information to that. All I know is I did the arrest in Lagos. Now, Agabi went further to ask more questions. He said, from your knowledge, the agitation does not even have any other person apart from from the defendant. The witness said, certainly not correct. Agabi said, so who are the rest? So if the witness, the so-called DSS witness is claiming, remember this person was actually masked. Is not, they don't know him, they don't want to bring out his face in public. Now, if you're claiming that Nnamdi Kanu is not the only person, in this whole thing, so who are the rest? Agabi asked. Now, the witness, now look at the dicey thing they did here. I mentioned this in the last video I posted, but I didn't go into detail about this. Now, the witness now brought in Simon Ekpa into the whole thing. He said, from the news on social media, I know Simon Ekpa. Now, even before I go into the next question, because he actually just played dumb there, he played dumb. He said he knows Simon Ekpa. So because of what you read from social media, you want my defendant to be sentenced to death because of Simon Ekpa, because of what you know on social media. That is what Agabi said. He asked the witness, you claim you know Simon Ekpa because of what you read on social media. That means Simon Ekpa is an accomplice. Let me put it that way. Now, so because of social media, you want an innocent man to be sentenced to death. The witness, I have said what I know. Simon Ekpa is working with him. What is your evidence? Witness, what is your evidence? So Agabi went further to say, is the Simon Ekpa standing trial with my defendant? If you're claiming Simon Ekpa is an accomplice with Nnamdi Kanu, is he standing trial with Nnamdi Kanu, his defendant? Agabi asked. Now, the witness said, I know he was arrested. Agabi now went further to say, but is he standing trial with my defendant? We're not talking about what is happening in Finland. Even if we're talking about Mazi Simon Ekpa, fighting for the freedom of his people, that is a total different case from Nnamdi Kanu. It has no business with Nnamdi Kanu. The Finnish government arrested him, for their own reason, which they have clarified. And they have said it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with terrorism. But that is not what we're talking about here. Now, the witness bringing Simon Ekpa as an accomplice, to Nnamdi Kanu's issue is actually dumb from their own end. But let us continue. Honestly, I enjoyed this whole script, going through it. I just enjoyed it. The way, the senior advocate Agabi was actually handling this issue. It shows a man who knows and understands what he's doing, as a lawyer. But let's continue. Agabi asked, but is he standing trial with my defendant? The witness said, I don't know. Agabi now clarified, we are keeping counts of your I don't know. Is the defendant charged with damaging properties of people or government? Agabi asked. Now the witness said, what I know is he is charged with terrorism. He went ahead to define what terrorism is. That means the witness went ahead to define what terrorism is. Now Agabi asked him, but is he charged with damaging anyone's property? The witness said, maybe not personally, but remotely, he instructed people to destroy government property. Now, Agabi, the son, asked him, do you know a single person who damaged any properties according to my defendant's instruction? The witness said, it's not my duty to answer that question. He turns to the judge and asks if he can be limited to the questions he answers. The judge said no. In fact, at some point, the judge shouted at him that, he doesn't have the right to state the kind of question he should be asked. From don't worry, we'll get there before we drop the video. Now Agabi said, did my defendant say the nation is suffering from corruption? The witness said, I can't remember. Agabi now asked, he said the nation is suffering from corruption, true or false? The witness tried to dodge the question. He said, that question should not be put to me. The judge now responded to the witness, you don't dictate the question that should be asked. It's either you answer yes or you answer no. The questions will be asked. You don't dictate the kind of question, that should be asked. At this point, I even think the guy was already confused at this point. But let us continue. Now, Agabi went further to say, do you remember my defendant said the country lacks infrastructure? The witness said, I can't remember, but he called the country a zoo. Agabi now asked him, can you remember if he apologized for the uncomplimentary remarks he made about the president and Igbo leaders? The witness said, I can't remember. Now, Agabi now went further to ask, you won't remember if he described IPOB as a voluntary organization? The witness said, I can't remember. Agabi now went further to say, do you remember he said IPOB does not engage in armed struggle? The witness said, I can't remember. Now, Agabi now went further, to go deeper into the issue by asking him, do you know there's been paying in the country, in Kaduna State? The witness said yes. He asked again, the paying, is it from the agitation of the separation of the state of Biafra? The witness said no. Agabi now said, for many years there's been paying in Zamfara. Is it as a result of the agitation for separation? The witness clarified no. Agabi went further. There's been paying in Benue State. Is it a product of agitation for separation? The witness said no. Agabi now went further. There's paying in Plateau State. Is it as a result of agitation of separation? The witness said no. Agabi asked once more, are our highways safe? The witness said to some extent they are safe. Agabi asked again, many villagers have lost their lives. Nigerians pied in churches and mosques. The witness said, I remember few of those instances. Agabi now asked, are those pieing product of agitation of separation? The witness said no. Schools have been attacked and students unalived. Agabi asked. The witness said yes. Agabi asked, are those pieings, do they have anything to do with agitation of separation? The witness said no. Now Agabi now asked, do you say IPOB was prescribed? The witness said yes. Agabi now went further to bring out this man's, this man foolishness out. He said, who were the parties to the action in which IPOB was prescribed? The witness now said the federal government. Agabi now asked, do you know if the application was ex parte? The witness said no. Now Agabi said, since the prescription of IPOB, do you know any IPOB member that has been prosecuted? The witness said no. Do you know any IPOB member? He said no, but I have seen him during broadcast issuing directive as IPOB member. Agabi asked, have you seen any IPOB member being prosecuted? He said no. Is it a crime to propagate ideologies? He said no. Agabi now asked, which are the states to which IPOB message is directed to? The witness said, majorly southeast and south-south states. Agabina asked him to name them. The witness, he names the southeastern states. He names the southeastern states. Now, Agabina now told him, these states have lawmakers, governors, etc. being represented nationally. The witness said yes. And they are constitutionally established. The witness said yes. Agabina said these states have the security personnel and they receive federal allocation. The witness said yes. Now, Agabi said, every Nigerian lives in all the states you mentioned. So it's not a matter of whether it's Igbo people, If you come to Imo State, they are both Yoruba, they are both Hausas, every area, every state, they come to these states to do their businesses, to live, to school, and to run other things. Now, the witnesses said yes. Then Agabi now said, so does it mean the people of these states you mentioned don't carry out their supposed leader's order? The witness said, there are people in that state who carry out his instruction. Agabi now asked him, do you have any evidence to back this up? The witness said no. Agabi now asked, are you aware even the court apologized to my defendant for some of the wrongs done to him? As we all know, at some point, the court apologized to Nnamdi Kanu for the injustices being meted on him. The witness said, I wasn't in court on that day. Agabi said, are you aware the people of the Southeast are in the DSS Air Force, military, and the rest of them? The witness said he's aware. Agabi now went further to say a former inspector general of the police and others are from the Southeast. The witness said yes. Agabi now said, in line with all these offices mentioned, nobody from that region is guilty of the accusation you made against him. We have mentioned these states where there is unrest and the Southeast isn't part of them. The witness said, we have videos where miscreants committed atrocities and mentioned Nnamdi Kanu as their leader and he sent them to do it. Agabi now said, do you have evidences to that? The witness said, personally, no, but the service has. So this is actually the cross-examination and the questioning for today. Now let us drop the interview that was held from Nnamdi Kanu senior advocates, Agabi, and the rest immediately after the court hearing. Watch this. Please make sure you're sharing this video to as many Biafrans so that they can key in and follow what is happening. But meanwhile, this is a video excerpt of everything that happened today.
Then we have Dr. Patricia. Her name is Dr. Patricia K.
Vows, yeah, please. I will, for information, please, please don't go to this box.
P-A-N. P-A-N. Ejiofor. E-J-I-O. Those,
This is a walkway. Hello, this is a walkway.
Good morning, sir.
How are you? Good to see you. Welcome.
After that, I have another brother of ours, Ikeazo. Name is wrongly spelled. Ikeazo, E-I-K. Joseph.
He was avoiding the boy.
She will come. They want her to.
Okay, can you come here?
We started our cross-examination today, and for hours and I guess we have made progress. We're getting there. The matter is set down for Tuesday, the continuation of cross-examination, and of course for new other witnesses. We believe, like you said last week, we're making progress. The trial is going on in a very congenial atmosphere. I would believe that we will get there.
What is the difference between
No. We have said enough. Let's go. Let's go.
Breaking news. Barrister Aloye Jimako gives full details of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's court proceeding today at the Federal High Court, Abuja. Here the news in details. Wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world, you are welcome once again to Biafra Unite channel /television this very moment. Today's date is 29th of April 2025, and I have video clip and of course information from Barrister Aloye Jimako, the special counsel to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, for every one of you listening to my voice right now from wherever you are all over the world. Dear friends and lovers of freedom, I want you to pay very good attention to this very news, because it's very, very important. I can assure you, my people. It is not a news that today, 29th of April 2025, is the day that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu appeared in the court of the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria, for the commencement of the trial between, I don't want to say between Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the zoo government, but between Biafra and the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria. So pay attention. I will first of all read the update from Barrister Aloye Jimako's official and verified X account. After that, I will then play the video for you. And those of you who have already come across this very update, because it was made just a couple of hours ago, if you have watched the video, I want you to stay tuned, because we have something very, very important to say after the video. So let us move first of all and read the update before the video. And according to the lawyer, he said, update. Today's MNK hearing has been concluded. The prosecution presented its first witness, who was not identified by name but by initials only, and he testified from behind a screen, as was approved by the judge. On 2nd of May, we shall cross-examine him and test his veracity. So that means what happened today is only for the so-called witness, the masked witness, to testify against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu without being questioned or cross-examined. So on the 2nd of May, the team of our lawyers and co will now cross-examine him, question him. Aya boya jojo. Oya sagiden on. You see that suspected Igbo man who has taken money from the zoo to mask himself to come and witness and give false witnesses against an innocent man, against Chineke. If you are hearing me right now, I want you to disappear. You better excuse yourself. In fact, Imarega Webunyalogi, buy overnight ticket. If you don't have any visa, you don't have good passport, you don't have visa, just first of all, Tunisia na Benin Republic. Obune no n'ugwu Hausa, Tunisia na Chad, isi Chad, ife Niger, cross Mediterranean Sea, banye Italy, direct, isi Italy, na chọwa egi, na wegi, because at the end, you will be ashamed. You will be unmasked. You will be unmasked. Don't think that you are going to remain, masked forever. You shall be unmasked. Bear it in mind. Because on the 2nd of May, the kind of query agabago, others who are preparing to come behind the mask to give false witnesses against our leader will be shocked. They will be shocked. Now, dear friends, before playing the video for you, I want to remind you, with this little opportunity that I have now, that on the 9th of May 2025 is the day that has been scheduled by Biafrans in Finland and some of them in Europe who are staging a protest in Helsinki, Finland, to ask for the immediate and unconditional release of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. This very protest, like as I usually say, is being organized by Biafrans in Finland. It has nothing to do with whatever or whoever that you support. Please, if you support Mazi Simon Ekpa, if you are his disciple, you are his follower, you are his supporter, you believe in him, you know that he is capable enough to give us Biafra, to deliver Biafra to us, to deliver freedom to us, while Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still held in a solitary confinement in the DSS dungeon. I want you to know that this protest is a must attend. It's a must attend. Just take it to yourself. Put it to yourself that this is a must attend. It's not about me. It's not about anyone. But it is all about all of us, our collective effort, our collective vision, our collective freedom, which, as Mazi Simon Ekpa remains in the custody, I'm telling you, what is happening now will continue to happen. Unless those of you are enjoying it, unless those of you are really not interested in freedom, but you are interested in all the shenanigans that is going on social media. But if you want freedom for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you want freedom for Biafrans at large, you must support this very protest. It is very important, very important. So the number to call for more details, anything that you want to know concerning this very upcoming protest, please call the number on your screen. Enquiry number for Finland protest for the release of Mazi Simon Ekpa, please call +358 40 243 6561. This is the official number to call for any details. You want to book hotel reservation, maybe you are coming from Europe or America or any other part of the world, and you have eligible traveling document to go, please endeavor to be there. Call this number and you will get more information concerning the protest. No money is required apart from the money which you are going to spend for your transportation or your flight ticket. No other money is required. Nobody is asking you to pay a dime. Now, moving back into the news of the day, I am going to release this very video for every one of you who are listening to me right now. So I want you to pay very close attention while we all watch this very video together.
The people I'm here are my brothers and sisters. We are all friends of one mind. The lawyers are here, some of them. The others have dispatched to various locations where we are going to meet later. Tomorrow we are going to the DSS to meet with Onyendu. Today, what happened? For those of you, and one Onyendu, we are friends, fine boy. I was in the America, Dr. Sylvester Sonia and Dr. Chukwu Emeka of the Igbo, of the American military veterans of Igbo descent here. I be grateful for the solidarity they came to show to their friends, their fellow Igbos. and to Onyendu and the legal team and Onyendu. They flew all the way from America to show solidarity. We are very, very grateful, and this thing was in when Mary at the end of the day. So what happened in court today, as a way of recapping and informing those who didn't come to court, was very simple. Finally, the government is getting the so-called trial that it has always desired as of late. It didn't desire this trial for the past 10 years, but for the past 6-7 months, the government has been intent on having a trial. But the trial has commenced today, and we have seen, those of us in court, that the case rings very hollow. The prosecution witness was examined on direct examination by the prosecutor, and he made an application, meaning the prosecutor made an application before then for the witness to be masked or to be screened away from the bird's eye view of the general public. The only person that could behold him from our own side of the aisle was Nnamdi, because the law required that. So he was testified from behind his bench, and when people testify behind his bench, so he has given his direct examination, and the matter was adjourned to 2nd May for continuation of trial. So what is going to happen on 2nd May is very specific and simple. We are going to subject that witness to cross-examination. We're going to ask him to explain certain things. So his own answers to the questions pushed to him today will not be taken as true unless and until we have finished examining him 2nd May. So we are very hopeful that in the end, our victory is assured. We shall prevail, and we shall be able to show through this trial they are having, or they say having today, that Nnamdi Kanu did not commit any offense known to law. Thank you. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Special counsel.
So, my people, you have seen it. I don't have a lot to analyze at this very point in time. But remember, as we proceed, matters are rising. I want to use this opportunity to lend my voice to thank those who flew all the way from America to Abuja to stand in solidarity with our leader, Nnamdi Kanu. This is the same thing that I'm asking for our people to stand in solidarity with our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa. So I want to thank every one of them. I equally want to thank Barrister Aloye Jimako and all the legal team, all the sons and barristers who are standing for Nnamdi Kanu. I know that many of them are here willingly to defend the truth, not that they were hired to be paid, millions of amount based on their standards and caliber. So I want to thank every one of them. I want to thank all Biafrans who sat at home today to make today a memorable one for Nnamdi Kanu. Thank you, my people. To salo numozi akona boto and make it go viral.